Welcome to Heated Rivalry, the replay.
The replay!
We recap each episode and give our hot takes.
Be sure to watch to the very end where we cover the replay report card for this episode. We'll talk about how raunchy the episode was, how real it felt, and also how riveting it was. Stay tuned.
I'm Max.
And I'm Harjot.
Join us as we discuss the latest scroll-stopping content.
This is Scroll Interrupted. Episode 6. We're at the cottage. Y'all with us?
Mm-hmm.
So Netflix published a tweet saying it's Stranger Things Eve. Talking about the fact that they launched, I think, one of their multi-part season finale and the response by a Heated Rivalry fan was, nobody cares, we're at the cottage.
Ooh, that's a nice saying now. Nobody cares, we're at the cottage.
We're at the cottage. We're going to talk about the cottage being a bit of a safety bubble for the relationship. Then we're going to talk about how things get domestic and the word marriage is used.
And jump scare, getting outed by...
Papa.
Oh no. And then lovers to boyfriends.
Boyfriend. Okay, so the episode opens with Scott Hunter giving a speech.
I know.
Yeah, he looks really proud, accomplished, and calm.
Yes, this was the plan that he always wanted and he deserved. But it just felt like this was where he wanted everything to end so perfectly. A win. Again, I don't know sports. Whatever that got the cup. The cup got his man.
He shot the basket into the ball.
And then now he's his true self.
Yeah, before we saw him being super nervous and very sort of easy to scare in public when he was with Kip, and now he's very calm. He's taking control. He's up there. I didn't know if he was going to give a shout out to his lover, to Kip, but he did. He said I love you, and he specifically said Kip. So I was like, okay, we're very much out in the open. So I'm curious to know from the fans who have read the book series, how far in the timeline have we jumped to the point where he's now comfortable enough to express it. I mean, we had a very public kiss, right?
I know.
That 360 drone kiss.
Yeah. I mean, I love this episode and everything that we talked about. It felt very cinematic, like a whole movie. But I wanted more of Skip. I know. I guess they can't have this to be like a 3-hour episode.
No. Remember, this was
wanting more.
Yeah, they still probably at that point never knew if this was going to extend beyond what we just got. So I feel like that Skip storyline could have been drawn out a lot more, but it's nice to see, and who knows. So after we see Scott give this speech very confidently, I feel like it's always that same damn podium and always that same stage that they're on. So I'm like, they really like
a heavy curtain behind you.
They set maxed. They set max. They really took advantage of that stage.
Mood lighting.
Yeah. Think about all the shots you can do. I think it's called block shooting or something, where you shoot all the shoot in one time, one period. So
behind the scenes,
it's familiar again. And the good thing about that from a cinematographic, perspective.
Tell me.
I guess it gives you enough context so your mind doesn't have to piece together what's going on. You can really listen to the message. So as soon as you see that stage, you're like, okay, I know where we are. I know what's happening.
Yeah.
So I can just focus on the character that's delivering the words.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little bit easier. So I actually don't mind it.
Okay.
But anyways, after that, we get
into scene.
Yeah, we get into the car. We're ready to go to the cottage. We get into the
I don't know cars, but
Jeep,
they were making they're making fun of these cars. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you a car guy?
I'm not a car person, no.
I don't know. I think your car's nice. So I don't know if your car is a fancy car or not.
No. My car.
It was some car joke, but I was like,
yeah. He's like, is this a Jeep? He's like, no, it's British. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Not sure if there was any significance there, but interesting nonetheless. So they get into the car, and it's it kind of it always, I feel like when they meet, sometimes there's this awkward tension that's there.
Well, it's the first trip as a couple.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, before they're yes, sometimes they're in exotic locations and stuff like that. But now it's the first time, and we're leading into, relationship.
Yeah, and because there's been so much lead up to hey, we're going to the cottage. I'm coming to the cottage. We know where we're going, snacks. So it's
who's pumping the gas?
A little bit, the tension. It always becomes exciting, and they kind of reset the tension, and I do appreciate that because I'm I don't want the couple of interest here to get so comfortable with each other where we just feel like, oh, okay, we're doing a grocery, we're doing a grocery run.
We're still seeing that awkwardness, but in a sweet way.
Yeah.
It's always how are they gonna navigate this?
Yeah, who's gonna break the ice first?
How are they navigating? Cute.
Who's literally navigating? It's Siri.
Siri, obviously. Google Maps, Waze.
Yeah.
Shout out, sponsor us.
But yeah, it was I found it really cute. And then
Mm-hmm.
obviously, there's the touching, the little like
Yeah.
hand holding, hand on the thigh,
Yeah.
as they're driving. And I thought it was just I thought it was cute. It
Yeah.
was endearing.
Then we arrive at the cottage.
We arrive at the
Beautiful.
cottage. Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Like clearly Shane's family does well for themselves.
Canada's own backyard. Was it in
Muskoka?
Muskoka? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good. That's
It's giving Muskoka.
Yeah, for people outside of like our lovely nation of Canada, like Muskoka is where cottage country
Multi-million
is.
and multi-million dollar
Yeah, yeah.
cottages.
If
We're
you
not
have
talking about a little cabin, little rustic cabin.
no,
No,
no
beautiful homes.
art
Beautiful,
pieces,
beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So then we get to the cottage and things.
The vibe.
Yeah, it's very quiet, and it's supposed to be because you're in nature, right? But like you're outside of all of the buzz and all the
Yeah.
hoopla around, being at like at a big hockey
Yeah.
game, being amongst like friends. It's
Yeah.
like they are isolated, right? So what I found really interesting was like the cottage being a metaphor for
Yeah.
like, okay, well now let's see how you guys are, for real when you're
Ooh.
alone
in this,
and
in
isolated.
this box, let's.
Yeah,
It's totally like
it's a different rank.
the comparison to that meetup in like Ilya's place, which was so awkward and like they didn't know how to interact and they were still like, who are we to each other? This one felt like a happy place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that you kind of like I think because there was so much anticipation and this series kind of surprises me, I guess, in a pleasant way, because you kind of think things are okay, when is it going to go bad? When is something going to like, oh,
I know.
they're going to go to the cottage and they're not going to yeah.
montage of happy experiences. I was like, oh
Yes,
no,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because again, we haven't read the book, so we're like
Yeah, yeah,
freshly
yeah.
experiencing this.
And I like that,
Yeah.
like we also appreciate that no
I
one
know.
kind of people will hint at stuff in the comments,
I know.
but they're not giving away like major plot points. So like
I was
we
like,
get to
maybe I
kind of
shouldn't
watch it
enjoy
with
this
fresh
too
eyes.
much. I was like, I shouldn't enjoy
Yeah.
this too much. What if they're gonna end this on a cliffhanger and somebody
Yeah.
dies? I'm like, no,
What if, I was like, what if they just don't work out at the cottage? Like, what if, like, there's all this lead up in anticipation, right? We talked about the cottage for a week. Everybody
Yeah.
was like, the cottage. Oh, we have the cottage. Hashtag the cottage, right? So I'm like, what if it just doesn't work out? What if, like, something goes awry? But, like, I feel like they really got time to spend with each other, and like where they've had such an awkward hard time like communicating, it got a lot more communicative in like a good way. There was sex though.
Yeah. It was much more of like a relationship sex though. 'Cause it was like morning sex. There was like the teasing while they're on the phone and then full out like
the phone fellatio.
I like that phone fellatio.
Yeah, but basically, let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
So like, Shane gets a call from Hayden, which is
We
one of
love
your,
Hayden.
Yeah, your non-problematic straights.
Oh, we got like a little callback from both, like literally callbacks from both of them.
Literally
Rose was
callback.
calling, Hayden was calling, and they're all
Yeah.
just being like, "How's my baby doing? Are you good? Are you safe?" Checking in. So I think
Yeah.
they were introducing that he's fully supported. He's got his like people around him, and I love that. I love that.
Yeah, and there's a contrast in like Shane's character, I think initially, who
We
felt
were
very
like, he's
isolated.
So alone. I felt like he was so alone before.
Yeah, now he's got people calling up, like checking in on him, and I think that's
And
really
he's so
kind of
happy, and he
supportive.
was happy.
Yeah, I feel like his experience as a character, like it just got richer and richer
Yeah.
as we move towards the end. Like obviously, like there were some nuggets in there that showed us how jealous Ilya can be over little things. So like based on like the Hayden phone call where he says,
Oh.
"Love you, Hayden," I was like, for some reason, I was like, I registered that in my mind. I'm like, oh, that's kind of like specific.
Cute.
I'm like, oh, he said "I love you" to his friend,
Yeah.
and then Ilya was like, "Oh, but do you love Hayden?" Like he said that afterwards.
Yeah. Is
Kind of,
Hayden supposed to be, and people tell us, is Hayden supposed to be like his best friend? Like
Yeah, it would be good to
his best
know.
male friend?
yeah. I guess like his
If he has a fuller story, because it seems like he comes back more regularly, and he hung out with him with his children. So that feels like not your casual bro.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have around your kids.
And then Ilya also brings up Rose too, saying like, "Oh, but do you?" I think it was like, "Do you love her enough to like, have sex with her?" Yeah.
He's like, it was only twice,
Yeah.
2 times, and
And
then
I didn't enjoy it, I swear.
I know. So it was revealed that like, he's like I don't want to talk about it. Or what did he say? Something about he doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to get into it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's like,
yeah.
okay, we left it at
So we see Ilya like, the jealousy peeking through a little
but
bit.
not too much that I was worried.
Yeah.
It was enough. It was like you said, within a couple relationship, it might be a little bit of like joshing, like, oh, so you like Rose in that way, huh? And he's like, no, like reassurance. reassurance is needed, you know?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like testing the waters, also
Mm.
literally when they're in the pool, like the water
The
when
lake.
when they're in the lake.
This man does not go to the cottage, clearly. The pool, the larger one, the natural
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
natural
The
swimming
body
pool.
of water.
Yeah.
We also see like Ilya's goofy side come out again, where he's like, making these jokes about like, hey, how do you like the water?
Yeah.
And like basically then splashes
Yeah.
Shane and then kisses him on the leg and then asks for a kiss.
Yeah.
Like he's being a lot more, I guess, of his true self in his real feels.
I felt like he was a lot more vulnerable, a lot more natural, and allowing himself to be a little bit silly and goofy, which
Yeah,
feels like you said, the cottage was a place where he could do that. Like
yeah.
even when they were gonna have sex in what I assume was one of the bedrooms, and Shane wanted to like lower the blinds and stuff, he's like, no, let's
Keep him
leave it
up.
open, right? He was feeling like frisky and like not afraid, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I also found it like really interesting how we saw like Ilya break character, like and even just there was, I wouldn't say role reversal, but kinda like, you
How
remember in
so?
episode 4 how like Shane was resting his head on Ilya's chest. We got a bit of the reverse where like Ilya
Ah.
was resting his head on Shane's lap and he's being comforted as he's talking about his
Oh
mother.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we
the
get
loon
that. Yeah,
call.
we got this story about his mom, and we reveal a little
Mm.
bit more of that like tragic background, which obviously makes you really sad for Ilya.
Yeah, and there was another line in there that I found really interesting where like Ilya's like, "But you like to be bad." Like he was saying that to Shane, and then Shane's like, "But that's not what this is." He kind of like clarifies there, like, "Hey, like let's just be super clear on the fact that yeah, this
This
is
is not a
more,
sneaky.
yeah, this is more than just us hooking up." And like I feel like that was like
Oh,
a where Shane was so like filled with pride in
yeah,
earlier episodes and just closed off.
yeah,
He's like, "No, no, this is what I want now. We're doing this." And like even just
yeah.
going to the cottage, inviting him to his place. Both of them were taking turns taking
Sure.
control. And then let's talk about the fact that the word marriage is dropped, right?
Okay.
So we see again another scene where they're seated on a couch, far apart from each
Yeah.
other, but they're looking at each other, and
Ooh.
their feet are touching.
Touching.
Their feet.
Yeah. Cute. Cute.
Their toes intertwined. No,
Yeah.
but like they're sort of like having a conversation, though they're kind of far apart.
Mm.
It starts off like, again, it's a little
Like testing the waters.
yeah.
You know?
And I
Throw
found
this out there.
Shane's face throughout that whole scene was really just like
I know.
believable. He was
Mm.
just like, well, I don't care, but also like this is kind of like, so like what
Yeah.
do you want? Like, you want to get married? Like, you
Yeah.
want to
He's like, well, you like
talking about the passport?
you like women, so
Yeah.
you could get married. So he's asking, he's like
Uh-huh.
asking all the questions that are, his insecurities or maybe things that he's worried about.
Yeah.
Like, is that what you want, kind of thing?
Yeah. And then they arrive at the conclusion of like, well, Ilya wouldn't just marry
Yeah.
anyone for a passport.
He has that
Anyone
joke. He says that
specifically Svetlana.
he says that joke of like, well, I have this problem. I really like
I don't want this problem to go away.
this slow
Yeah, I was like, I
hockey
don't know how to feel
player.
about the use of the term slow. I
Slow.
know
But I mean,
it's been discussed that
English as a second language, so I think there's a little
sure.
bit of like we're allowed to give a bit of leeway there.
Yeah, but I think
But it's
he's
meant to be a
also
joke.
described as autistic, right? Like
Yeah,
Shane, I think in the books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He takes things very like literally, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, when he said that, I think it took him a second to understand what Illy was really saying. It's like,
Yeah.
I like you.
He is
and
very
they use
literal.
the words like I like you. Remember?
Well, he said, I like you in bed when they wake
When they
up.
woke up in the
Yeah.
morning.
Good morning. I like you. I like you too. And then it kind of like, and then Shane's been up all night thinking about, the logistics of like how we can stay.
And that's what's so funny about Shane. It's like you don't know. He doesn't say much, but when he does, he's figured it all out in his brain.
Ruminating.
He turns around and it's just like this casual. Usually be like, oh, how are you? Like he's like, oh, I have this idea.
Good morning. I have a plan.
You move over. You go.
See my dossier.
You move. Yeah, you move teams. You join that team. We're 2 hours away. Then we start a charity. And when people see us out, they're like, oh, they're. And then we talk about how we respect each other as players. And so nobody's the wiser. Like,
Yes.
and it'll work.
Very strategic, very calculated. And I think like the fact that it didn't get much resistance from Ilya.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I think this is a good idea.
And
it
it was
could work.
it was similar to like the Scott Hunter strategy. I think it was like inspired by that. He's like, and then we retire. Like we'll do this until we retire, and then we can be together, kind of thing. Which I found it cute when he had the whole plan, and then I was like, oh no, they're still so young, and then how long are they gonna wait? Kind of thing.
Yeah, and I
It
think
brings
like,
us back to reality a little bit, like peaks of reality when we're in this.
you still have to do the dance.
In this
you
little
can't,
dream, this dream of a cottage and being in a relationship and what could be, like you're brought back a bit to
And listen,
reality.
as a queer person,
Mm,
as a gay man,
mhm.
I actually really do appreciate the fact that, some people, I think, a lot of the stories that come out of like LA or like WeHo, where like
Yeah,
people are very comfortable in their sexuality, and they kind of
sure.
like, sometimes there's a tendency to look down on people who need to remain closeted. Like,
Fair.
they actually made a strategic plan and
Yeah.
decided that they're going to have their private life, or it could be a public life, like much later.
Yeah. Like
Like when they
Scott.
understand, like, hey, it's not the right time, place to
Mm,
publicly come out and be open. There's a roadmap ahead of us. We
yeah.
see that with the whole Skip situation. But
Yeah.
like for us, we feel like, this works. And I'm like, there are a surprising amount of people that are actually living that reality,
Yeah.
that are living, behind the scenes,
Sure.
and they need to. And it's not a thing about, it's not an issue of like shame.
Hmm.
It's an issue of safety. And also, like,
Yeah.
maybe you could also make the argument that you don't need to put your, relationship in the spotlight.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like
Yeah.
this the center of your identity all the time, but like I wonder if even just like saying it out loud as a plan is kind of a first step into, there is a plan to eventually come out on your own terms,
Mm.
and like that plan can change the more that you talk about it, and the story can change for yourself, and the comfort level that you have with yourself, to eventually come out. Like, okay,
Yeah.
it's 15 years from now, but then maybe it's 10 years from now, and maybe it's whenever.
Yeah, and I like that because it gives us, like, again, appreciation of what it means within the world of
Yeah.
hockey, and within a world where patriarchy, toxic masculinity
Yeah.
still kind of, need to
Yeah.
be, we need to toe the line with those things,
Yeah.
right?
Well, then let's talk about the coming out, like the
Yes.
coming out
Let me,
story.
Maxine, I actually, like, I had a bit of a jump scare when I was watching it, because I'm like, oh, they're,
Yeah, it was very horror film.
I know. It gave, I was like, I don't know who that is, but I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. Like, my heart literally
Oh,
sank.
you
So
thought
it
it
was
was
like,
like a burglar
mm.
or like a murderer.
But also I'm like, oh, somebody caught them.
Now it's true
Yeah.
crime coming.
Yeah. Listen,
These books.
when I was much younger, I had a somewhat similar experience.
No.
Yeah, I mean, like, everything was okay in the end, which I appreciated, but like, I was caught off guard with my very first
Oh
boyfriend.
my
And it
god.
was it was like, I went back there in that split second when I saw that jump scare of like the back of his
Mm.
dad's head. I was like, oh
Oh
shit.
no. I'm sure a lot of people probably had that same like
Mm,
reaction, like, oh no, getting caught the first time kind of thing. And that was the moment that I was waiting for. I was like, when is the bad part gonna happen?
yes,
And
yeah.
the fact that like his dad just left, and there was that,
Yeah, all you
oh
hear,
no, like,
yeah, yeah.
he was losing control. I felt like Shane handled it pretty well given the circumstances, like having to, be outed, not when he had a whole plan. Like he had a whole
Mm,
plan figured out, and now
yeah.
it's like, nope, we're gonna have to do this.
You're right. I really actually found that interesting because,
Yeah.
like, Shane is very, like, again, takes things very literally,
Yeah.
is very stoic, but
Yeah.
also very, like, he feels
Measured,
the pressure and, like, wants that.
purposeful.
These are the signs of somebody who wants to be in control
Sure.
of the situation, of the narrative. And
That's not a bad
it's
thing.
like, well, you're not going to get that today, sweetie. It was just taken away from you.
I
So now
know.
what do you do? And did you see, like, the body, the physical acting? The physical acting.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see him,
Which
like,
is his
contort
number.
over?
Yeah, that is his like number one like strength in the show, is the way he can, his micro expressions and the way that he holds his body. It's like tells you a full story.
I agree. I think, like, any other actor might have taken the opportunity to, like, really face act,
Sure.
whereas his face was covered.
Yeah.
He literally just, like,
There's
it's
a lot
called,
of
like,
shadows and
turtling.
silhouettes that were happening, like when him and Ilya were having that conversation of
Mhm.
like it's okay and all that, like, let's go talk to them. And then so when they're about to jump in the car, and Ilya comes out wearing like t-shirt and
The
shorts
Raiders.
or something. I thought that was like a nice, like, let's bring up the levity in the situation a little bit.
It surprised me because I was like, okay, Ilya wants to actually deal with this issue,
Yeah.
like, head on
And
with
he's
the
like
parents.
the
I would
more
have been like,
dominant person in the relationship, right? Like, and then he
yeah.
comes out in like flip flops and like short, like, yeah, let's do
Should we
this.
go talk to them? I'm like, oh wow, that's really different. I thought maybe he would come from a place of, like, his own, like, trauma and, like, Russian culture, and, like,
Oh,
how it's not
hide.
safe with when it comes to, like, family
Right.
and, like,
That's true. Like, maybe you're right. Like,
it was surprising.
maybe one option would have been like they sat there and they like planned, like, how can we excuse this? Like, how can I get away from here? How do we like fix this?
But also, there's a little bit of, like, reality in that too. Like, chase him right now. We need to go get in front of the
Yeah,
story.
my
Like,
mom.
go.
He's like, oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
my mom.
Like,
My
don't let the
mom.
dad tell the mom.
That is
Yeah.
such a visceral experience, I think, is like when you get caught when you're young, you're like,
Yeah.
which of the parents is the scarier one?
Hmm.
Oh no, my mom. Maybe the dad is the chill one. It's like, oh, I'm scared of my
There was
mom.
like no time. It was like, let's just get in the car, let's go,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and let's go, try to do some
Yeah.
damage control
And I
here.
like that. I don't know if you caught this, that dad didn't tell mom yet. Like he was the one that actually like, what? She was like, what's going
Oh
on?
yeah, that I'm gay.
Like he didn't say anything to the mom yet. And I thought that was really great of the dad
Probably
because
because
it
they
wasn't his
just
information.
arrived there like 2 minutes after.
I know, but still, he could have called in the car, like
Uh,
there was a lot of opportunity for him to tell his wife. And even as his son was arriving, like, because clearly they were waiting in the hallway. They knew that they'd pulled up or something,
uh
the foyer. I assumed he'd already filled her in on some information.
But I thought you hated him. Remember that?
That was so funny. It's like I felt like she was almost, and this might not be true, that she was less upset that he was gay, but that she was like, I'm confused. I thought you hated hated Ilya.
Yeah, we see a couple of different sides of like
Yeah.
the mom, Yuna, where like she cares about Shane obviously as a mother, but then she's kind of like the PR person in the household, right?
Well, she's like,
how do we?
she's like his number one fan.
Yeah,
of the
she's
team.
trying to coordinate his deals like with like Rolex and like how will this look and like
Yeah.
you're the first like Asian
Yeah. And
representation.
as a sports fan too, like you're loyal to your team, you're loyal to your
Yeah,
favorite player.
she had that loyalty thing
Yeah,
come through
yeah.
as
And
well.
so like whoever they hate, whoever's enemy is her enemy, And so she's like, wait a second, I thought we hated this guy,
Yeah, so the kind of like the attention shifts
Here
a
he
little
is
bit.
in flip flops in my house,
It almost kind of it started to feel a bit like a 3-on-1. Pardon the pun.
Yeah.
It started to feel like a bit of a 3-on-1
Yeah.
where like the mother, the father, and like Ilya were not as concerned about the whole gay thing as they
No.
were just about like what is this? How do we manage the story
Ooh,
here,
that was
right?
that was such a parent move where they were like, "What's the plan?"
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
dad, like it was giving dad being like, "What's your intention with my son?"
yeah. Then we see pasta get made.
Ooh, lovers kept
Yeah,
talking about how they
yeah.
were like lovers.
And then Shane is like getting progressively embarrassed. And I feel like that was really real to me where he's like, no one use that word again.
It was
Lovers?
Yes, Ilya was like, "This is the perfect word. I heard this somewhere. We should. This is perfect." You know how we had.
And then the parents repeat it.
Yeah, we had when he was understanding or trying to clarify the definition of words in other episodes. This one he's like lovers.
I like
We're
that because
lovers.
again, that's a nod to like a real like immigrant expression and
Yeah.
like a experience. Like
Yeah.
I like that. And like
It's
they
deep.
should use that vehicle a little bit more.
And I feel like even though it was a little bit silly and funny, to me being a lover is deeper than just like someone you hook up with.
Yeah, it's also like
Right?
I've taken a lover.
Dear lover. Like you're sending each other letters.
It sounds borderline like affair. Like I have a lover like on the side.
I've sent you a lock of hair.
We're going steady.
I shall wear this locket that contains a lock of your hair until your return, the next fortnight.
So the pasta gets made, the conversation escalates. Shane is getting progressively more embarrassed.
embarrassed.
He's like I love the fact that he's just like kind of hiding his head like, oh my God.
Which is classic when you have your boyfriend or your partner over for the first time meeting your parents. You're like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. Like having a boyfriend is so embarrassing.
Because it's not even like, yeah, it's not even like he has to come out in that moment and then also explain the affiliation.
Yeah.
And then he hears the term boyfriend. So I'm like, I bet Shane after this was just like just a bundle of nerves.
Yeah.
He must have just been, it's like
Yeah.
you're kind of like riding a bit of a high, but at the same time, there's just so much nervous energy.
But he was less nervous when he heard Ilya then stop using lovers and he said,
Your boyfriend is
your
here."
boyfriend is here. Your boyfriend is here. And he's like, he was like, boyfriend?
Yeah, I know. He's processing it for the first time.
Yeah,
and then, like,
yeah.
his parents kind of see that in him too. And so like
Yeah.
it's like
I think they felt better.
yeah, it's like you're seeing this like high strung. We've all kind of
Yeah.
witnessed this in our lives where we
Oh my
have
gosh.
that one high strung person that like you kind of put like a warm blanket around. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay. We all know.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. And I'm not a parent, but I assume a parent would want to see that they've chosen someone who's caring, nurturing, protective. And I think that was like Ilya making a great impression.
Yeah, and he was also again surprisingly calm, and then just like
Yeah.
eating the pasta.
He's
Like there were
"This
so many
isn't my
cutaways
parents,"
of him just like scarfing down the pasta, and like that felt very
He's,
real. I'm like,
he's carb loading.
yeah. Hey, listen, they're athletes. They have that athlete's appetite.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, this seems very real. And he's just
Yeah.
watching like Shane like process his feelings. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
The
just gonna
feelings
eat.
were processed. I felt like there may have been an opportunity to make this such like a terrible coming out experience with parents, because we've heard like nightmare experience. We've been fed those, especially in media, how bad, you know, a parent can like reject you and no longer support you. And this was nice. Like obviously there was Shane going through it, like really uncomfortable, apologizing.
But it was still like in the grand scheme of things, I think a little bit low stakes.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, like, listen, I am all for queer and even like person of color stories where they're not primarily based on struggle. And this was kind of like everyone rallied around Shane at the end. It was like, hey, we support you and
we love you.
we got you.
When
and
they
I'm
were
like,
outside.
it's refreshing. It's refreshing to hear. We don't want, you know, queer struggle all the time. It's nice that we get to have like romance.
And that nice scene too where it was the, you know, the conclusion of coming out to his parents when he was outside just having a one-on-one with his mom, and she was just like, oh, I'm gonna cry. She was like saying, you know, I'm sorry that you didn't feel like you could tell me sooner.
Yeah. Very, very sweet.
I know. So that was so sad. And that was like so sweet. And she's like, I love you so much. I'm like, I want my mama. I want to call my mom right now. It was really sweet. So I really like that. So for me, like the bad part never came, that I kept worrying that was going to happen in this episode.
Well, it came for a split second with that like surprise, like dad jump scare, but then like they solved it right away, and then they actually it unlocked something better.
And because Ilya was so calm, I think I never fell into the deep spiral. Like I wasn't like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna like have to split up because of like family judgment and rejection from his family? And now this is gonna be the main story. I hate that. And instead it wasn't. It was really nice. And his parents were like, we love you. We accept you. And you know what? Okay, this guy seems pretty okay. And then they get into the car. And I love that because it felt like this was a sweet wrapper and kind of like how we started the trip, which is like, this is a couple going to the cottage, going on vacation. They're holding hands in the car, and the credits start rolling. I'm like, wait, oh no, this is like, I wasn't ready for the end of the episode, but also because it's so long and the credits, I watched like 5 minutes of the credits of just them.
People were saying that there was a tear running down Ilya's cheek during the credit, like when he turned to the side.
And
I
waited to the end because, you know, like Marvel.
Can y'all confirm?
Yeah, you know, like Marvel movies where there's like
is there going to be a stinger?
I was waiting for an Easter egg or something. I was like, wait, something's going to happen, or like
post-credit scene.
I know, but it felt very much like I was the third wheel.
Clarity.
I was like the third wheel, and you know how we've all been there. You were like the back seat.
We were in the back seat.
You were literally in the back seat with a couple who's so in love, and it was like annoying, but this is perfect. Like it was clearly showing, you know, like the symbolism of them going on this journey, and it was a beautiful day, and they're holding hands, and they're gonna go together. And I'm like, this is what I wanted. This is perfect. A quiet, beautiful, sweet ending where things are wrapping up, but it's leaving open to the next season.
Yes.
6 episodes and season 2.
Yeah, so season 2 is confirmed. When it will release, no one knows.
They
have yet to start filming, I'm
assuming.
Who's
going to be in it? Is Skip making a reappearance? And I've seen in the comments people are talking about, no, there's more couples. Like,
oh, I would love that.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Hopefully I want to see more of the friends again. I want to see a little bit of like Hayden's come back, you know, and some of like Kip's friends, if Kip comes back, you know.
Give us spoilers light in the comments.
Yes. Okay.
Like light spoilers, like maybe hints at what could happen.
Yeah. Say you'll like this. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna be upset. You're gonna be heartbroken.
Yeah. We have at least a year before we see more. So, obviously these two have been catapulted. Whose dog?
I don't know. I'm just saying, you know how people won't watch a movie if they ask, oh, does the dog die?
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Like that's why I said the dog dies.
You know, I think just to cap it all off, I really, again, I will say this, I said this at the beginning too, but like, I really do appreciate how the fact that like these two are still closeted in terms of like the world,
right?
In terms of the world, but they found their happy ending.
Yeah.
Like or happy almost ending.
Beginning.
Yeah. Happy beginning too. They found something really happy, and I think again it just flies in the face of us thinking that closeted people are miserable or that they're, you know, shameful, they're hiding, I think they're thriving and in the privacy of like, you know, their very, very close network. And I find that actually really wonderful.
Yeah. I'm happy. I got the happy beginning that I wanted, that I was so afraid would never come. But
let's get Maxine that happy ending. Go fund me in the description. Did you see some of those like posts by Quinn, like the spicy audio app.
Clearly our algorithm is like, they'll want this.
Yeah.
So Quinn is an audio book I guess platform. I guess it's an app. I think maybe you can get it on a website that is dedicated to erotic content. And I'm seeing that Shane, the actors that play
Hudson
Shane
and Connor were teased.
Yep.
There were wings.
As being the voice actors for a new series, an original on Quinn.
That was a smart move because, like, of course, people will follow them. Like, it's kind of like Asian BLs, boys love dramas, where like people want to ship the couple so bad for the 100%. Rest of. They actually do this in Bollywood too, where they have the same
teams,
couples,
right? Love teams. They have them in the Philippines. Yeah,
it's like we want to see the same couple. You give them a different story, give them different names, but we want them to kind of like peek through in different, you know,
now they're
shows,
a couple that
stories.
One of them had amnesia. Now, now they're a couple from like fighting enemy families, things like that. Yeah, I love it.
That boys love formula. Like, hey, if people love something, let's give them. If it's not broke, why fix it? No, that's the wrong way. If it ain't broke,
if it works.
If it ain't, whatever, you get it. So I found it really interesting, and I was like, oh, the girlies are gonna love this. The gays are gonna love this.
We're gonna love it.
We get to see them sort of like come to life again in some other format, and of course, it's voice work.
Yeah, I've been looking into the subscriptions because also Manny Jacinto, he voices another series on there. So get into it. But yeah, we'll talk more once we get a bit more information about it. But I think that was really smart.
I'm optimistic that they will find a way to fill the year gap before season 2 hits. Is it a whole year? I feel like it would be, right? Because they haven't started filming season 2. Or at least that's not, like, you would need to be greenlit before you put the money into filming a season 2. Unless they were going to do it anyways. But
fair. And it took even though it was a quick amount of time, it was still like filming.
They're just rushing to like hit production and like get filming again. And of course, I think the actors have said that they're going to reprise their roles. So it's like, how do we fill our time? So how are you all filling your time? Yeah. Please tell us in the comments.
So it does make sense if a new couple gets introduced, because then they can simultaneously like film different couple scenes.
Potentially, yeah. Give us your best
into
theories.
The sexy verse, like add more. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're locked in. We're waiting on the next season, but yeah, give us some more content while we wait.
All right.
Thank you, Quinn.
Okay, now it's time for the replay report card for episode 6, the season finale. Maxine, tell us the criteria.
This is where we break down how raunchy it is, how real it feels, and how riveting it was.
Okay, in terms of raunch.
It's wholesome raunch.
Yeah.
It's couple raunch.
Phone fellatio.
Yeah, morning SEX.
Please fuck me.
A lot of like teasing and stuff.
Yes.
It wasn't like the Fast and the Furious, like up against things and like flinging you around the room kind of SEX.
It was brand new boyfriend. Sex.
And that's not bad.
No.
But not raunchy.
It's not as like it's dark alleyway or like a late night hotel room hookups.
Yeah, I would give it like a 7.
Yeah, 7. I would maybe bump it up a little bit because of that phone scene.
Oh, true. I was uncomfortable. I was like, do not ever call me or hang up on me. We can have a secret.
Let me make you squirm. Not while I'm on the phone with my mother. Luckily, it was his friend Hated. Let's get 7.5.
7.5 is good.
7.5. Okay. How real did this episode feel?
It felt really real to me.
Yeah.
I think it had a lot of the important moments where we had to see, the good and the bad parts of the couple coming together. So, the insecurities, talking about like, well, you could get married to a woman. Is that what you want? Discussing their future, coming out. That felt really real to me, and the vulnerability that they kind of shared. Oh, and then with Ilya talking about his past and stuff, that felt super real.
I felt like Hudson's acting was chef's kiss in this episode. Yeah. I feel like he really did his big one. So like with the like burying his head kind of in his arms and just like freaking out, but then also like looking very like alarmed when they were having that conversation about marriage. So I really enjoyed it. And again, I love stories that are not just about queer struggle. So
because what made it perfect for me too is like adding on the Scott moment. The moment with mom, obviously, like that was perfect. Really sweet. Like perfect for me. It's what I wanted.
10.
10s across the board. 10, 10, 10. Woo!
Okay, let's talk about Riveting.
Riveting. Of course, I say it is a 10. We got everything we needed. It was the beautiful moment that Scott deserved to be out in public, to tell people his story the way that he wanted and still have the support. Great. I'm like, what's going to happen with this couple? Are they going to come back? That's keeping me wanting more. Obviously, our main couple here, like, they're riding off into the sunset. What's next for them? Don't know. Like,
we loved her.
Are we going with the plan of, moving within 2 hours of each other, starting a charity? Like, what are we gonna do
The
next?
strategy was there.
Yeah.
We loved our time at the cottage. We came back refreshed, and I feel like we also got like another, like, instead of getting a sunset, we got a sunrise. So I felt like that was like a nice way to look ahead to the future, right?
Yeah,
we see a lot of shots like from the characters like from behind.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels like we're looking forward at something together.
And it wasn't like the cheesy, like the way, they would end a 90s movie where it'd be like, this is what happened to them. Like, it's leaving it open, like something is going to happen. And I think because we know there's a season 2 coming, I'm like so into it. It's like, this isn't enough for me. I need more. So for me, it's a perfect 10.
Yeah, it was gripping. Gorilla gripping.
It couldn't be less than a 10 because we're getting a season 2.
Okay,
we're getting a book, we're getting an audiobook, we're getting a whole bunch of things.
So that's another 10.
10, 10, 10. Well, 10, 10. 7.5.
7.5, 10, 10. Okay, so then that brings us to a royal score of 9.2.
Yeah. Don't ask me. I needed extra help in high school for math.
Hey, that's what series you're for.
I need extra tutoring, yeah.
Did you like this episode? If you did, remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to see more videos.
And make sure you follow us on TikTok at Scroll Interrupted Show and on Instagram at Scroll Interrupted.